Hello everybody, welcome back to today's video. Today we're going to be installing this. Now this is an aftermarket, let me just get it out. So this is an aftermarket reversing camera. So this this works along the CarPlay box. So if you guys that have installed the CarPlay box will know that it supports a feature by where you can install your own reversing camera. Some of them support a front camera as well, which I've heard of. But I'm not too sure if that acts as a dash cam, where you got to plug a USB cable, USB thing in there to record to. I don't know the front one. We're going to be installing the back one. Now this one was from eBay. I think it was like £15, I think, something like that. So if it does break, it's not going to break the bank. But essentially, this goes where the OEM one will go. There's a screw, a nut at the top there that we have to remove with a washer and like a locking washer there. So we'll have to remove that. And this, on the back, the boot handle, there is actually a space where the OEM one goes, and you'll actually see that when we take a look. And this just goes in its place. And we're going to run the lead. The end of it comes to one of these really odd looking ones. It won't focus because I'm using the front camera. A really odd looking cable there, connector. And this runs to... we've got a yellow RCA cable which runs to the front behind the glove box, into the CarPlay box. We've got a power and a ground, so the power is going to have to go to the reversing light. We'll get to that in a second. And yeah, so there's a 6-meter cable here. So my plan is I'm going to run it from there up into the roof, into the sort of like rubber channels in the roof, along the side, all the way along here. Over the front here, and then down into the glove box. So yeah, as usual, I'm going to get the camera mounted up and we're going to get to installing. Okay, so first of all, we're going to take this boot card off. You're going to need I think it's a T25. I'm going to remove these 2 bolts here. Okay, and we're going to give this a good old tug. Oh, there we go, there's that. Okay, so there is a little connector in there, as you can see. We're just going to give that a pull. There we go. And that's just the boot buttons and the light underneath, as you can see there. So we've got a series of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws holding that back thing in place, the button in place. So I'm going to quickly undo those, and we'll be back in a sec. Okay then, so all being well, there we go. So that's that removed. Here we go. So when we take a look at the underneath of this button here, I'm going to give this a good clean out. This is where the OEM camera goes, in there, and behind there is, well, where it goes. So I'm just going to come up with a way to try and mount that camera, and I'll be back in a second. Right then, so that was difficult. So what I did, I'm sorry I didn't get it all on camera, but it was just so tedious. I drilled a little hole to put the main shaft part of this camera through here, and I literally just ran it through. It runs into there. I've sealed it with some silicone. I put the nut in there. That's literally it. I did run some silicone around there. Not the prettiest of jobs, but when it's dry, I'll peel the remainder off. And that just leaves us now with this lead. So I'm going to get this remounted back up there, and then I'll show you guys more in depth about the wiring. Right then, so as you can see, that's a camera installed. So it's as best as I'm going to get it. And then under there, the wire comes through just in there, and then I've just run it across here to here. I've got fingers, screws just stay at my fingers. I've got silicone on there. So yeah, now let's get to the wiring. Right, so I'm going to pull this down here. I'm going to pull this rubber trim out. I'm going to run the power end of this cable up through a hole in the back. Which will then let me pull this through. Okay. Now I've got to get this through this rubber boot thing here. Okay then, so when wiring, you've got two cables. The black is the earth, the red is the 12 volt. So the red 12 volt, I'll be wiring it to the reverse on the indicator. And I've got a voltmeter here, and there's a little pin in here, and I've worked out that the third pin here is reverse, so it's not in reverse now, so it's not live, but yeah. So my next thing is I'm going to somehow, on the third wire here, which is the blue and green, okay, I'm going to splice. I've separated the wire there, as you can see, so I'm going to splice that, and I'm going to wire in the red live onto there. I'm going to find a ground location where I can mount this one. Okay, so I've got the positive all wired up in there. You don't actually need to do anything with this negative, so I'm just going to tie this off and leave that in there. So that's what's done in the boot. There we go. Right. Okay, so now on the CarPlay box, you've got a series of cables. You're going to want to take, I think it's out the back of the the USB camera. You want to take these cables. You've got a bunch here. You've got one is a front camera, which I mentioned earlier. Not sure how that one works. This one is a reverse camera in. So I've not routed all the cables correctly yet. So this cable here on the back of the camera goes into reverse camera in. So this is our yellow RCA cable. Just going to plug that in there like so. And this cable here, if you get this specific camera, this sort of tells the car, or the CarPlay display, the CarPlay box, that it's actually in reverse. So you take this purple and white wire here labelled back reverse detect, and you simply join these, and you simply join them two together. I'll do a better job. I've got some wiring sort of stuff in the house. That's the setup there. That'll all go back in behind here, and I'll route it up along here, right around the back. As you can see, it comes out there. But if we turn the car on, you get your normal CarPlay interface. Now, when you go into reverse, all being well, this should pop up. There we go. Look at that, fantastic. So, you can actually, in your settings, if you've updated the firmware, you'll see there'll be a reverse thing here, option, and you can select all of your reverse sort of stuff here. Do select aftermarket camera. Don't select original. If you select original and go into reverse, it'll take you out of CarPlay. So definitely select aftermarket. I've turned off all of these sort of like the line detect, track, display radar. So when you go into reverse, It gives you all these funny little lines. So I mean, I'm turning them off myself. I don't need them on. Full screen reverse I've got turned on. When you turn it off, yeah, I think you have to reset the box, but when you turn it off, it'll only fill half this, well, the left part of the screen. So yeah, I mean, if I plug my phone in, so my phone's now plugged in. If we go into reverse, the camera powers up, and there we go. We've got a reverse camera there. So I'm gonna hide all this wiring now. And I'm gonna put all this back to where it sort of came from, and we'll close up the video. Really good. So going back again, you don't need to connect the ground up, I guess. I mean, this connection here must do all of the work. I mean, it must do. I haven't got the ground connected. The camera, I'm trying to think, there's no other ground connected. So this must act as a ground. I'm not entirely sure, but the ground isn't connected. So, you know, it's not connected. So it's just the live that's connected. So yeah, just routing this. Like so. It runs all along there, all in here, all through there, and out the back. I'll take this, see if we can do it this way. And then pull that through. There we go. Right then, so everything's all put back now. All cables are routed where they need to go. So let me just turn the fan down a bit. So all being well, if we go into reverse, we should get the camera. There we go, look at that. Now, there's something odd about this camera. It looks slightly stretched. I think it's just the wide angle. I'm not too sure. What I'll do is I'll drop a link in the description to where you can pick this camera up. You know, if you guys want to pick it up. I think it was about £11. So probably the more expensive ones you go for, the better quality they'll be. But for me, this will do the job just well. I was advised to calibrate the red thing here, so I've got to put a bucket behind on the red. Well, let's do that now, actually. Okay, so I've got it to where the camera just cuts off. Where it just, you can sort of see in there, where the camera just cuts off about here. Which is, well, could be better. Yeah, you could just about see in there by my foot. There, that's where the tripod is. So yeah, it could be worse, but yeah, it's pretty cool, that, isn't it? Super impressed. What I've done is I've siliconed it in as well, so there shouldn't be any issue with water getting in. So yeah, all in all, super happy. Right then, so I had a bit of issue when the car was on. You go into reverse, but it wouldn't light up, whether the camera wouldn't come on. So I found probably an easy way. So if you scrap everything I said before, I've removed the wire from here. Ow, that's just a dashcam wire. So I've run the wire. I'm going to run it all the way to the front, down the side here. This is the live wire as well, so that's a live. Run it all the way to the front, and you can actually wire it to 12 volt. That looks like 12 volt accessory out. And then when you go into your settings on setup, if you go to reverse and turn reverse line detect off, I've got the other two ones off, but reverse line detect off. So when you actually start the car now and go into reverse, it comes on, and that's a sky there. But before, when the car was on like it is now, I'd go into here and it would just be a black screen. But when the ignition was on, you know, just like that, it would come on like that. But when I started the car, it wouldn't. So I'd recommend, instead of wiring the 12 volt to the reverse light, take it to here, 12 volt accessory out, I think that is, and it just works. So I'm going to run that wire from the back all the way along here, down there again, as I did with the RCA cable. But yeah, that's a fix. That's a fix to it. Guys, I'm going to end this video here. There are some bits that I might not have covered in the video. Most of them are straightforward, but trying to record and do this sort of thing at the same time is really difficult. So I do hope that the parts that I did cover will enable you guys, if you want to do this mod, will, you know, allow you to do it and copy from this. So super simple mod. Really happy with it. Really impressed. It's gonna come in handy, I reckon. Yeah. But guys, I'm gonna end this video here. If you like the video, click like. If you want to see more videos in the future, hit subscribe. Followed by that notification bell, where you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching, and I shall see you all in the next video.